Happy FriYay! Who is in the house today? Come on down. It's FriYay. We got it all going on right now. Yay! FriYay! Wouldn't it be cool if Friday meant something? I mean, hello, Cassie and Sarah. Good to see you. Hi, Vanessa. Lovely Vanessa. And Gwen is joining us today. That's so good. And so is Catherine. Yay! Hello, Yvonne. And Deborah, good to see you. There's my girl Marguerite and Heather. I love to see all these names. I know who you are. Hello, Susan, a new member of Hot Milk. And Linda is in the house as well. So is Carla's telling us that it is sunny in Louisville. And Rebecca's here. It is FriYay, lovelies. You love my hair, Kimberly? Okay, thank you. You are a sweetheart. What's this? I did my 4-minute workout for the first time. Yay, Tammy! That's what I'm talking about. Juanita and Ann and Susan, welcome, welcome. What day is it, guys? Besides FriYay, it's day 5 of the sprint. Day 5. And here's the thing you need to know about, right? Am I right? I hope you, listen, I wear this shirt so often, I'm sure, I'm just waiting for somebody to complain and say, Leanne really needs to get some new clothes. I've already said that, Leanne really needs to get some new clothes. But if you will notice, I'm all flanneled up. I also have on warm pants and my Ugg boots almost up to my knees. Why? It's chilly out there. It's just ridiculous. But you can see Leanne needs a little color action. I've got it downstairs and I'm just, I'm gonna have Mark do my hair. You guys, this is guts. Guts, my friends. Mark is gonna be doing my hair this weekend. So I probably am going to lose a lot of the pretty color and then I'm gonna need some highlights. I have things. This is my jam. I like it. It's part of my 10-part item wardrobe. Rebecca, that's so right. I have leggings. I have tennis shoes that I normally wear if it's, warm outside. I have Ugg boots. I have a whole cadre of flannels and some tanks to wear underneath it. And I was trying to assess my wardrobe and thinking, I watch all these women who have these cute clothes, and I think, I don't know. Maybe I should go there. But today, it was all about flannel. I woke up and we had the windows open and it was nice and chilly. You could snuggle down in bed. I'm sorry, but I like that. I like where we live. Do you know we live in a rainforest? A rainforest. That's what I say. Rainforests are cool. So we get a lot of rain and it's much cooler here. My little thing says that it's like 73 down in Brevard. Well, it's 66 here up on the top of the hill. So that's cool. And I'm good with that. Anyway, so here's the deal. Today is FriYay, which means Q&A. And we always have a lot of really good questions. If you want to get in on that action, it won't get answered today, of course, but we'll answer it next Friday. So send your questions into to support at Saving Dinner, and in that subject line, all you have to do is put question for Leanne on Friday. Everything else gets dropped in and you get your answers. And I promise you, I research everything if I need to and just make things happen. So this is how we do it. There's my girl Amy. I just see you popping in. And a lot of you were here last night for we did the webinar. It's the same webinar that I keep doing. Look, I'm not going to lie about it. I'm not making up new stuff to go with it, but it is the 10 things that you've got to know about going forward. Because, the sprint is one thing. It's a clear the dash, clean things up. Let's get busy. You can't do it forever. You will die of boredom. That's a promise. But what's next? And what do you need to do in order to equip yourself so that you don't get the rebound weight? I don't want that for you. I want you to keep this up. And that is all answered in last night's webinar. So go to savingdinner.com/webinar and get the goods. We have it on replay. It's not going to be live, but it was from last night, and you'll get the information, right? And you can always ask questions. If you see it and you're going, what are you talking about? I don't understand this. Send in a question. I promise you I'll answer. You know, I don't like people walking around thinking, I don't get all this. I want to make sure that you're good, that you feel like, yes, I know what I'm doing. I know what's next. I know what this is. That's really important to me, and I think it's important to you. Rebecca says, I've rebounded so many times. Yes, you have, and yes, I have, and so has everyone else. It is called the carousel of crazy, and this is why we throw down the gauntlet the way we do. This is why we give you all this information, because we want you to have the kind of life that you want to live. Now, we focus, don't we, on those cute jeans and losing the weight and when am I going to feel better and oh my gosh, look at my muffin top. We focus on that, but what we're not seeing, and this is where my focus is that we're missing out on the vibrant life that we want because we're so obsessed with this stuff. Don't you want your brain to clear out? Aren't you done focusing on all this? I know I am, and I'm also, you know, I mean, this was exactly how we came to write Body Clutter, because we were obsessed with our homes because they were such a mess. And then once we got them together and once we got the routines, then all of a sudden now it was like, oh my gosh, what about this muffin top? Well, what about it? It can be dealt with too. And it's the same philosophy that overrides it. Plus I add in a whole bunch of science and sprinkle it all in there, toss it up, and you've got yourself a real good healthy salad with all the information that you need. This is what we do. And the reason that we do it is because this is where the success lies. If you don't have science behind it, you don't have the information you need. You just have somebody's opinion. Opinions are like, you know, belly buttons. Everyone's got one. And you know, when you start hearing, well, I read somewhere, well, so-and-so said, or this, that, and the other thing, or spouting off old information because they haven't been updated. Let me just tell you, I've had my fill with amateur nutritionists who they've read something somewhere and are feel free to give out advice. And it makes me mad because this is not what we need. We don't need more of the same. We need the latest information, and we need to be able to take that, use it, make it actionable, and go forward. That's how it works. That's what we do here. So with that said, the sprint is still going on, and I'm going to give everybody a big time heads up. You're not off the hook this weekend. I don't want you going back to all crazy land. I want you to stay the course. I'm asking for 2 more days. 2 more days. And then I want you to do this for me. Promise me you will, pinkies. You're going to watch the webinar. Now, whether or not you join the Hot Milk Club, it's totally up to you. But the webinar has 10 actionable steps, pieces of information, all with research behind it to give you an opportunity to understand why I say the things that I say. And it will make sense for you. I promise. Everybody tells me that. Oh my gosh, this makes so much sense. I never knew that this is important. I never knew that sleep had that much of an impact on my weight loss. I never knew, fill in the blank. Well, it's all there. I've just condensed all the stuff. I took all the things that I have been studying for years and put it in one solid place. Take notes, put it into your life. It will make a difference, I promise. There's my girl, Joanne. Joanne's my poster girl for Take Back Your Life, by the way, and Hot Milk Club. She's my poster girl. She does all the things. And when she does, I mean, she's got all the results too, you know? She's got all the results. So watch Joanne. She's your clue to, like, this is how this works. So we have the sprint until Monday, and then we're, you know, it's back to everything. But I don't want you to go back to normal. I want you to take this information, make it actionable, so that this sprint weight loss that you've experienced is permanent. It can be. Follow Joanne's lead. She knows what she's doing. Our Ships Free supplement isn't beauty support. I forgot to get InflaCrusher when I was in the warehouse. It's InflaCrusher. InflaCrusher is one of our favorite supplements. We no longer have beauty support right now. We have like 2 bottles left. It will go into a back order situation, but heads up, we've already ordered more. I just want you to know about it, right? Thank you for that, by the way. We've busted it out, and we ship quickly. Anybody here who's ordered supplements from us knows that. We ship quickly, you get it fast. And those of you who are in Take Back Your Life, all of your journals are going out today. We've just packed them all. I helped Mark with that a little bit. He did most of it. But there's a lot of journals that are going out. So, Friday's Q&A, and this is how you get a mindful mug right here. Order $200, mindful mug will come. Margot, the fish oil is coming next order. We've got it ordered. It's coming. Promise. Our fish oil is fantastic too. It's really good. We have a new formulation coming in, and I'm really pleased with it. Very pleased with it. Like I said, I had a hand in these I wasn't in the shop, in the laboratory making the formulations, but I was saying, this is how much I wanted this is how much I wanted that, discussing raw materials. Can I just tell you how incredible it is? It's just so fun to be able to do that. This is the first time I've ever had the privilege of doing that, and it's great. This is why, we got all of our body clutter supplements the way I like them, and they all support one another, and they support you. So you can find those at savingdinner.com/wise. I strongly suggest you go there and read why they're formulated like they do and how they interact with each other and how all of this works. It's incredible. It's incredible. I love how, and you know what's so neat is when you're eating a good diet and you have the right supplements, it all falls into place and your body is supported. That's so cool. Somebody was just asking, I think it was Juanita, how do you get into Take Back Your Life? We offer it once a quarter, and you can, Jenny will reach out to you, Juanita, if you're interested in going early. I'm sure we wouldn't say kick you out if you wanted to go early, but we offer it once a quarter. It's incredible, a great program. You get 4 coaching sessions with me. It's a year-long program like all of our programs, because we do it for a year because we're training, we're learning, we're becoming more. It takes a year, it takes a minute. So that's how it works. And yes, the website, we're trying to get it's a different flavor. And on the website, I know it's the same. We're working on all of that right now with our supplement guy. So no worries, we have it. We've got you covered. So remember, Mindful Mug goes out on all $200 or more orders. So keep that in mind if you want a Mindful Mug. Mindful Mug just keeps you mindful, keeps you on the straight and narrow, giving the target trifecta plate and not going bonkers when it's mealtime. We need that. Do you need that? I need that. I need that reminder. That's what this does. It reminds you, oh yeah, I gotta be mindful. I can't just check out and, put on the chow bag. Who wants to do that? I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that person, Let's stay away from all of that. My goodness, this wind. There it is. Sorry, putting the wind down. I like a breeze, but I don't want to be knocked over. Here's our quote of the week. It's a Maya Angelou quote. You may not control all the events that happen to you, but you can decide not to be reduced by them. And being reduced by things that are around us means that we're allowing those things to get under our skin. We want them to get into our psyche and stir change, not reduce us, not make us less than. Reduction is only good for a pan sauce. Amen? That's where I go with that. So y'all are set up. Are you ready to Q&A it? Maggie, just in time. Maggie's here. She's in the house. And she says, I'm here. Well, good, because I've got questions and answers for you today. I look like a model with my hair blowing. I'm like Beyonce. Ooh, keep the wind going. All right, Yvonne has a question, and I think we should celebrate her. First of all, she says, I've lost the weight. Yay! But she's still working on the inflammation part of the equation. How do I balance losing inflammation without losing more weight? Well, this is good, okay? This is really good. This is a fantastic question, and I have a really great answer that I think is going to be really helpful for you. Here's the deal. When you're losing inflammation by staying on an anti-inflammatory diet, you're correcting things inside. And it's a slow process. We have to, how many times have you heard me say this? We have to respect the process. Respecting the process just means we allow the time that it takes in order to have it complete. It takes a minute. Sometimes the damage is too much and your body just can't get it onto it. But usually your body is going to do the corrective work that it needs to do. This is how we, and when I say all of this, understand that this is what you need to know, that our bodies are intuitively programmed to correct and to heal and to make things better. And the reason why it does that, the reason why our bodies are like that is because God is magnificent and He understands and knows that we need this kind of a thing. We need to correct. We have metabolic functions throughout our entire body. They all synergistically work together. When we are feeding our bodies the correct fuel, and we don't say, oh, well, I don't need to lose weight anymore, and we end up in a place of going, hey, well, I lost my weight, so now I'm going to go back to my ice cream snack that I used to do before I lost all the weight. Well, that's how you get the boomerang thing. It all comes back. We still have to stand in the gap, if you will, and taking a stand against inflammation. I don't care if you are 100 pounds overweight, if you're at your right weight, or even if you are underweight. We cannot go back to inflammatory foods. We stay away from inflammatory foods. We eat more when we finally lost our calories. And the studies have shown, this is an interesting study, I haven't talked about this yet, but this is a really interesting study that I just read the other day. And it shows that taking a proactive, lower calorie stand and doing an anti-inflammatory approach the way we do with the hot melt sprint, starting at the beginning of the weight loss journey is the best way to start, and adding more food in as we go according to what our appetites are telling us, but not defaulting to all the sugary junk. Now, if you were in the place, Yvonne, where you said to me, you know, here's my deal, I just keep losing weight, I would say to you, and if you start getting into the underweight, your body's normally going to just even itself out and say, hey, I found a new set point, I'm happy, let's stay there, you know, life goes on. But you may need to add a couple of carbohydrate type foods in there. So, for example, that would be berries, something that we do not do on the sprint. But berries are wonderful. They've got all kinds of nutrition. They've also very high in fiber. There is a glycemic index, you know, impact kind of a thing. However, it's minimal compared to other stuff. You might want to add sweet potatoes or butternut squash or, you know, those kind of things. But again, what we need to do is guard against going back to the old habits that put us in the place of needing to lose weight in the first place. I always say this too, and keep this in mind. This is a good stat to just throw in the back of your brain as you're thinking about things. If your waist is bigger than 35 inches, you do not need more carbohydrates, okay? You just don't. Your body is letting you know that's a fat indicator is your waist, because that's where we gather our fat, especially perimenopausal and postmenopausal women, and menopausal and postmenopausal women. It's where we gather. It's evil. I think that was a design flaw. When I get to heaven, I'm going to talk to God about this and say, hey, you know, what's up with that? You know, really? Why did this happen? So that said, this is what we need to do. This is the bottom line. We need to do it according to our waistlines, right? And the measurement of that waistline, because there's your indicator, number one. And number two, we need to watch it on the carbohydrates, because we've all had enough carbohydrates. What we see a lot of is people are always wanting to default to something that they used to eat all the time. So they're thinking, okay, I know what it is. I guess I'm just going to go ahead and it's the gluten. So I'm going to eat this gluten-free pasta instead. Well, take a look at the carb load. The carb load is intense. And the carb load is going to do the same thing as that gluten-filled pasta because of the carbohydrates. additional inflammation because of the gluten, sure, but it's going to do the same thing. So for you, stay in your lane of what you're already doing and watch your appetite and eat according to your appetite. If you keep losing weight and it keeps going crazy like that, then add in a couple of things that I'm talking about. Otherwise, your body is very brilliant. I promise you, we are fearfully and wonderfully made. That is the truth. And therefore, your body is going to find a new set point and stay there. Now, listen for me for a minute too, because for everyone it's different. There are women who are going to have a lower set point and be on the lower scale, if you will, of what a normal body weight is, because that's what their bodies tell them. But then the other thing is that you have to look at that there are other women who are going to get to a higher set point weight on that scale. Because it can, if your normal weight is anywhere from 110 pounds to 140, both women, one at 110 and one at 140, are within range, right? It's just how your body, your composition, your constitution, your genetics, all these things start to play into it. But, and when I say genetics though, please understand that genetically, all genetics tell us is that this is what your propensity toward, where a weakness might be in your constitution. It is not a directive that you are going to go ahead and get fill in the blank disease because your family did. Understand that. We have ways of fighting the fight. We have ways of staying out of that lane. We just, that's information. It is not a sentence. Got it? I just don't want to I want to make sure everybody understands that. Super important. Okay, we got another question now from Linda as soon as my computer decides that it's going to cooperate and help us out. Okay. This is from Linda. Info about avocados. I was told you could refrigerate them. I did, but they turned rock hard. Are they still okay for eating? Secondly, what about the brown black spots? Oh man, I know about those brown black spots. Do you cut them out? I was told they didn't hurt anything. Not so sure about that. Well, you don't need to cut them out, but I will tell you, it'll taste better if you do. I don't like those little black and brown spots either. The thing is with avocados, here's a quick guide for getting them. First of all, there's several different types of avocados out there. My favorite is the Hass, H-A-A-S, Hass avocados. And when you take that little stem out, it should be, first of all, if it's ripe, it's going to be kind of a black-green color. Not totally black, but a black-green color. It's going to have a slight give when you touch it. It's not going to go squish, okay? You want that firmness. Secondly, you can tell a lot by it when you pull out that little stem, if the stem is gone, is still in there. If you pull it out and it's kind of green around the edges and starting to turn brown, you've got a lovely avocado. So that's how we choose a good one. And yes, you can put them in the refrigerator. My suggestion is you put them in the refrigerator if you want to cold store them to make them ripe, or if they become ripe and you want to stop the ripening process, okay? That's exactly how you keep avocados in the perfection zone. And I'm sorry, there is no such thing as there is a perfection zone when it comes to avocados, because 1 minute past ripe and all of a sudden it just turns into a big gush factory, and we don't want that. Those things are expensive. So we want to cherish our little avocados. I keep them in a drawer where is, I also, you're going to love my little explanation, but when I'm filling up my water for my hydration station in the morning, what I will do, and when I'm making my coffee, I put a pitcher in the drawer and let it just do its thing while I'm emptying the dishwasher. Yeah, so you can see the pictures there. And I also, that gives me, that's where I keep my avocados so I don't forget about them. I see them every single day. Get it? So isn't that a good idea? Because how many times have you put an avocado in a drawer and then you open it up and went, oh, too late. That's how you do avocados. Also, they taste better when they're at room temperature. So even if you've refrigerated them, take them out a few hours beforehand. Let them sit on the countertop before you make your lovely guacamole, and that'll work for you. she also says, this is from Linda, also thank you for all your encouragement to and for us. Yay. It's my pleasure. This is from Juanita. Okay. This is a good question. You can see right behind me. Can you? How do I do that? I guess I need to go this way? No, go that way. Do you see it? Right there? Do you see that little handlebar right there? That's my rebounder. She's asking me about the rebounder. I am massively in love with the rebounder. Even though I get to go back to the gym on Tuesday, I'll tell you about that in a minute, which I'm absolutely thrilled about. This is where age really, you get to play the age card. Because of my age, because I'm 62, I get to go at the special hours. There's nobody in there. It's practically, you know, what do you want to say about that? It's practically, you know, a get out of jail free card. There's not going to be a lot of people there. The size of my rebounder is a 40-inch rebounder. She's asking what size it is. I get mine from Leaps and Rebounds. They sent me this. We have an affiliate link for it. We will put it in here. I'm going to tell you what. The old rebounder that I had was made with springs. And it was okay, but it reminded me of bouncing on the bed as a kid. Remember the springs? Boing, boing, boing. And it was okay. But guess what? Guess what? This one is made with bungee cords, and it's smoother. It doesn't have the boing, 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 and it just works. We have in our, if you look in our, here's the blog right here. We have a rebounding Bounce into Health. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. I love my rebounder. Thank you, Heather. You're so sweet. Our rebounder, that rebounder is ridiculous. So here's what I do on this. I use it for my HIIT training. And if you're part of the sprint, you know how I recommend HIIT. You can break up your HIIT. So when my alarm goes off for me to go downstairs, go get my water at my hydration station and do my drinks, then I come back up and I get on the rebounder and I boing up and down 60 times, because that's a minute. And then for 30 seconds, I run like my life depended on it. You know, because that's a HIIT. And it gets my heart rate up, and at the last 10 seconds, I'm thinking, I want this to be over with because I'm done. And then I get off and I'm kind of gasping for air a little bit, but it is a needle mover when it comes to weight. It's also a needle mover for your lymph system, and it's wonderful for your bones. And as a woman of a certain age, you know, again, I'm playing the age card here. It is incredible for your bones, incredible for your bones. And you got to do it. So yes, it's expensive. It's not a cheap piece of equipment, but it is an amazing piece of equipment. And honestly, you just put yourself on there. Now you will see tons and tons and tons of rebound workouts. I've tried to do that and I feel like I'm shaking my brains out. You know, I need all the help I can get. I don't need all, you know, I don't need to be stressing myself out with that. So what I do is I just go ahead and do it this way. I break up the rebounding. It makes such a difference. It makes such a difference. And the last part of it, I do the little twist. It's so hard. And then I do a bar workout because I've got the bar right there that's on my rebounder. So get the one with the bar, right? Yes, greasing the groove. That's exactly it. And if you look up greasing the groove, go take a peek at it. I put this together all by myself because just so that I could have the strength that I needed to do the things that I needed to do. And it's a thing. This is how Russian coaches coach these guys so that these athletes, these, you know, elite athletes, into getting stronger a little bit every day. That's exactly what we do. We grease the groove. So check it out. That's going to be in the book too, by the way. And I just have to read what Juanita said because this is brilliant. She said, I'm trying to decide what size to get. And yes, it's expensive. And I'm finally getting one because I'm worth it. And I think Juanita needs a little pinky slap. Pinky clap. Yay. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, you're worth it, Juanita, 100%. And I'm so glad you're seeing that. This is how we take care of ourselves. And I'm going to hold everybody who has a rebounder is going to get one. I want you on it all the time. This is not a place to do, you know, throw down clothes. It's a place to take back your health. It does amazing things. And by the way, it also works with cellulite. It works with the firmness of your body. It's incredible. So yeah, I'm a fan. And it's fun. Can I just say it's fun? There goes, look at this. Everybody's getting the pinky clap. Okay, I like it. This is from Judy. And Judy said, I started the sprint on Wednesday. What do you do after dinner late that night when you are really hungry? It happens. So Judy, what's happening here is you're having a transition. You are having a transition. Sue Willett just said that she's rebounding as she's listening to this. Fantastic. You could do that too, you know. So here's the thing that we have to look at. When we're making a transition from being a sugar burner to being a fat burner, and that's what the whole goal, one of the big goals is in Hot Melt Sprint, obviously taking off some weight, obviously losing the inflammation, and the other thing is to correct those hunger hormones and correct the fuel source. And as you do that, you'll start to feel better. So we're going from being a sugar burner because of all the carbs and a lot of snacking and a lot of entertainment eating to being only eating according to hunger and only eating these low carb foods. And there's a transition. And as the transition happens, you get a little, there's some weirdness. That's it. You got to transition. So yeah, if you're used to snacking after dinner, for example, if you are used to eating a lot of snacks, if you're used to a lot of carbs, it's going to be a little bit harder. So my strong suggestion is that you have an earlier bedtime than usual, that you eat your meal according to your hunger, and that you get into a tub right after dinner, and just have a time of meditation and have a time of, whoa, here comes the wind. Have a time of meditation and really just bring it all down and just be very thankful and grateful. This is a good gratitude exercise that your hunger hormones be stimulated and starting to heal themselves. They're letting themselves be known. And it will take a minute, but it will also pass. Stay with it. That's my strong encouragement, Judy. Stay with it. And if you're just absolutely feel like, oh, I'm going to pass out or something, go have a little mindful mug, we love our mindful mugs, of some bone broth. And just think about it, sip it, be present with it, and allow this process because it will pass, it will pass, it will pass. I can show you, and there probably a lot of these ladies are here who will tell you, yes, it's tough at first. Yes, it takes a minute. But you are stronger than you think, and yes, you can do this. And I am rooting for you, Judy. We all are, okay? Peace to you. All right, that was Judy. She's a new sprinter. And this is from JS, and she says, my first batch of bone broth will be finished tomorrow afternoon. I know I can use a slotted cooking spoon to fish out the big pieces of bone, but what is the best way to strain it out the rest of it to get the clear broth you always show us? Okay, so here's the thing that I can tell you. Oh gosh, little hairs right in my face tickling me. Here's the thing that I can tell you. You need a sieve, like a fine sieve, and it's one with a big handle, and you put that over the top and strain it out, and you get most of the little goodies. Now, there are some people who want to go a step further, believe it or not, and they think that you need to put cheesecloth in it and do all of that. Forget about it. Forget about it. That's too much. A sieve. That's it. Just a nice little sieve. You can find one at Walmart for a couple of bucks. Put it in the thing. Put it in your container that you're going to drain it out into and pour away. It's fantastic. That will do the trick, and it'll get you nice clear broth. Don't you love your bone broth? I'm such a fan. Okay, here we go. This is from Summer, and she says, we are new empty nesters. How do I cook for 2 when I'm used to cooking for 6? Well, it's the same process, it's just less ingredients. I know that sounds really, whatever, but I will tell you from my perspective of, cooking for 2 for a lot of years now. My children are 28 and 30, so my kids are just, I've been an empty nester for a while now. the way I adjust it is it depends on the item. So for example, I would do a roasted chicken that would serve, I was a single mom for many years, so that would serve the three of us just fine. And believe me, my son would take out 3/4 of that chicken, and Caroline and I would, get the little tiny bits of it. But that whole chicken, I have, before bone broth was even a thing and we were even talking about it, I always saved the bones in the freezer to make the broth. The broth is always amazing. So what I would suggest that you do is, for things like a whole chicken, you just plan on the leftovers. It's plantovers, really, is what it is. You can take that chicken out and chop it all up, and now you can use it, make it into chicken salad. You can make it into a chicken pot pie. You can make it into chicken fajitas. You can make it into chicken tacos. You can make it into some kind of pretty much put it in soup, anything. But that chicken is your friend, and you need a whole chicken in order to get those bones, and then use the bones for broth. Sorry, you guys, this little hair thing is driving me nuts. The other thing is just cut back, and you can cut recipes in half. So if you're used to making like a big meatloaf or whatever for the family, well, do a smaller one and take that leftover and stick the raw meatloaf that you're going to do into the freezer, and allow that to serve you at a later date. And just do it into sizes that fit what you're trying to accomplish. The other thing that I do is, again, that batch cooking is never a bad idea, especially if you have an extra freezer. And one tip that I will say, people always say, well, there's just, there's only the 2 of us, there's only the 4 of us, we don't need a big freezer. Let me just tell you, we have downstairs in this house, now we're just renting this house, because we just got here in July, and we haven't bought a house yet. We will at some point, but we haven't bought a house yet. And we have a refrigerator and we have a freezer, both uprights. Guess what? They're filled. I've got mineral water and all kinds of stuff in the refrigerator downstairs, and some backup stuff. And then in the freezer, this has inventory, friends. Lots and lots of inventory. And so I've got all kinds of things. If we find salmon on sale, for example, wild salmon is expensive if you just go to the store and just buy it randomly. It's like $18.99 a pound sometimes. But if you find a deal and you find it on sale, stock the heck up. We've got salmon in there that's $7.99 a pound. It's on sale. We bought it all on sale, and everything gets wrapped up, and it is worth that kind of effort. And while you might be an empty nester, and while you might only have 2 of you, if you are like us and you eat every meal at home, then you're gonna need your supplies. You're gonna need your inventory. This is how you do it and save a ton of money. And so while you're making things that maybe you can't make a whole lot of, this is a fantastic way to shift so that you have the ability to keep your grocery budget down. And then you can just, there are weeks where our grocery bill is like $20, $30 because all we have bought is fresh produce, because in the freezer is all the meat, all the chicken, all the seafood, everything pretty much bought with some kind of a discount, because we watch the sales. This is important, because otherwise, you're going to get a recipe and you're just going, oh, wow, that's just too expensive. I can't buy that. Well, you can if you pay attention. We do the same thing with the vegetables. And while we have, in Dinner Answers, for example, which by the way is $7 a month, still pandemic pricing, at least till the end of the month. So grab it if you want me to help you out with how to make dinner. If you want to, one of the things that you can do is, for example, if you see something and it's got asparagus in it, and let's just say you go to the store and asparagus, wow, they're expensive, but broccoli's on sale, grab the broccoli. Skip the asparagus and go with the broccoli. It might not be an exact match, but it's certainly the same kind of a veggie, right? We've got a good, green, healthy veggie, and now we're saving a whole bunch of bucks. You don't have to follow things exactly. You just need to follow them accordingly and use it as a guide, and then swap things out as you go. Use your beautiful creative imagination that you have, and understand that, again, cooking isn't brain surgery. Cooking is super flexible, and we can be flexible with things like that. And you can save a fortune. A fortune. This is what we do. Our budget for food every month, we never go over it, ever, because we always shop on sale. And while Mark might go out and he comes home with like, I feel like he's just been like a fisherman out of Alaska with all this salmon, he will diligently stay in that kitchen and he will take it all apart. He will wrap it all up. Everything is marked. This makes a difference. And this is how we eat super healthy, organically, wild, this, that, and the other thing. And everything is on point and everything is under retail pricing. Makes a difference. And don't buy stuff out of season either. I mean, you know, right now, he brought home some apples and I said, don't buy apples right now. Apples are been in cold storage. They're all mealy. Ugh, who wants that? So we wait on the apples, you know, we'll wait on the apples. Not that we eat a whole lot of them, but I make a pork roast with apples and onions. That's just pretty awesome. And that's one of the things that we'll do. So that's how to do that. And here's the last one from Amy. Gosh, you guys, we're just doing really well on time here. This is a weird question, but lentil stew, I make lentil stew in the spring, fall, and winter. And I've always wondered sometimes why the lentils sprout. I don't pre-soak them before adding them to the pot. Thank you for all you do. I love your book, Saving Dinner, from Amy. Well, thank you. I'm glad you like the book. There's 5 in the Saving Dinner series, by the way. 5. You can check them out. Here's the thing you need to, Marla's sending me text messages because I was saying it's cold this morning and she said that we have a cold front coming through. This is hence the flannel shirt and the Ugg boots. Here's the thing you need to look at. What's going on here is that the germ is making itself known. That's it. You haven't sprouted them. They just cook and the germ that's inside of the lentils just opened up and said, hello. Nothing to worry about. It's just, this is what it is. You know, lentils and all legumes and, you know, all of these dried beans and what have you. Remember, this is the beginning of life for a plant. So the thing is, it's full of phytic acid. This is what some people get real bloaty and burpy from eating lentils and beans and what have you. I have 10 books, Leanne. I have 10 books. I have 5 of the Saving Dinner books, but I've got some other ones too. So yeah, and I've got another one that I'm writing. So here's what you need to look at. If you have an issue with beans, dried beans or lentils or anything like that, you can sprout them on purpose. And that just means soaking them and laying them out, rinsing the water and laying them out until they start to sprout. Now here's the good thing that happens when they start to sprout, not just show their germ like this one did. Here's the good thing that happens is that the vitamin C level goes up. The phytic acid diminishes and it's a lot easier to digest. So if you have that issue, if beans are on your radar and it's something that you want but you just haven't been able to digest them really well, I would also suggest digestive enzymes. You know, all of those, everything, all those things really help in eating that stuff. Now, for those of you who are doing low carb, you know, here's the thing you got to look at. Low carb and beans don't go hand in hand. Even though they're fiberlicious, they're still going to have an exaggerated and big time carb count. And again, it's back to that whole thing. Measure your waist. If your waist is over 35 inches, take this off the table for a little while. That's all. We need to get our waist from down to 35 inches or less. And that's because that's telling about the belly fat. That's all. Very easy, very simple thing to understand. Now, if you guys are wanting me to answer a question for you next Friday, just send it in to support@savingdinner.com and in the subject line, question for Leanne on Friday, it will get answered right here a week from today, like this. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate so much, you guys. I really do. And don't forget, the new supplement is InflaCrusher. It usually won't change until Wednesdays, but we basically ran out of beauty support. InflaCrusher in your cart gets you ships free, right? Put ships free in the promo window and we will ship it. It will be on us. Shipping will be on us. Over $200, I will send you a mindful mug. Don't forget, it's important stuff. And thank you so much for your support. Thank you for being in my community. Thank you for sharing this video. Thank you for all that you do. You really are magnificent, a magnificent support and amazing. And every single day when I see the orders that are coming in and I'm writing little notes on them, my heart is filled with gratitude for you. You are my community, and I appreciate you all very much. I will be on again tomorrow for Saturday. It's Soul Saturday. Let's see what's cooking at 1 p.m. Eastern every single day right here. See you tomorrow. Peace.